Okay, let's unpack this. Picture it. You're on the ground, might be in your Cessna, trying to call ATC for that IFR clearance. But all you get back is static, just noise. It's super frustrating, right? And maybe even a bit worrying when you need that contact. So today we're doing a deep dive into VHF radio.
Hmm.
The physics, sure, but really the practical side for you as a pilot. Our mission, to figure out why sometimes you just can't hear ATC, why climbing is often the magic fix, and how you can plan communication better, especially, when taking off from maybe a remote field for your BIR flight.
Yeah, it's a classic problem. And what's fascinating here is that VHF radio waves, they act a lot like light.
Like light, how so?
Well, think of it simply. If there's something physically blocking your view of the transmitter, like a hill, well, you can't see it with radio waves either.
Aye.
It's fundamentally line of sight. If you can't see it, you can't talk to it. Simple as that, really.
So it's not just a weak signal, it's literally blocked.
Pretty much. And, this isn't just about your comms radio. Think about your navigation, too.
Ah, like VORs.
Exactly. VOR signals are also VHF, also line of sight. So the same stuff that blocks your radio call can block your nav signal, especially down low or near terrain. It all connects.
That really paints a picture. So the curvature of the Earth itself, and definitely things like hills or mountains, they become actual physical barriers for our radio signal.
They absolutely do. Mountains, big hills, even sometimes just the horizon if you're far enough away and low enough.
Yeah.
They create what we call radio shadows.
Radio shadows, I like that.
Yeah. And what this means in the cockpit is really crucial. When you're taking off, particularly from low altitude or, like you said, a remote strip, maybe tucked in a valley, you are very likely sitting inside one of these radio shadows. Your signal literally can't get past the obstruction to reach the ATC antenna far away.
Right. And it doesn't have to be a massive mountain range, does it?
Right.
Even smaller terrain could do it if you're low.
Precisely. Even, say, a cluster of tall buildings if you're on approach to a city strip and still quite low. It's all about that direct line. I remember one time picking up a student from this little field right down in a sort of bowl.
Oh, yeah.
We actually briefed for it, expected no radio contact for the first few hundred feet. And sure enough, dead silence until we climbed above the rim of the valley. Textbook radio shadow.
Wow, okay. That's a great practical example. So if line of sight is the rule, what's the fix for us pilots? This is obviously why climbing works, isn't it?
That's the core of it, yes. You climb, you effectively raise your antenna higher.
That's you above the blockage.
Exactly. You increase your radio horizon. You can see further over the curve of the Earth and clear those nearby obstacles. How to remember this for the test in the skies? Just picture yourself literally rising above whatever's in the way. Now, examiners, yeah, they want you to know the theory. VHF is line of sight. Terrain blocks it. Basic stuff. But what actually matters in flight, when you're actually flying that Cessna IFR for your BIR, it's using that knowledge to plan.
Right, it's not just memorizing a fact.
Not at all. It's about actively thinking ahead, anticipating where you might lose comms, especially on departure or arrival at certain fields.
So how does this really change your pre-flight planning then?
Well, it means you need to look beyond just the runway. Check the charts, look at the terrain around the departure path, maybe use tools like ForeFlight or SkyVector. They can help visualize the terrain profile. You might even mark a point on your climb out, like, okay, here's where I expect to get high enough for radio contact.
Proactive planning.
Definitely. And think about arrival, too. Flying into a valley airport, maybe try tuning the ATIS or AWAS while you're still high up, cruising before you descend into that potential radio shadow.
Get the weather info while you know you can. Smart.
It's all about anticipating those silent periods, especially from challenging spots.
Okay, so let's quickly recap the main point for everyone listening. VHF radio, the kind we use all the time, it's strictly line of sight.
Yep.
It gets blocked by the Earth itself, by hills, by mountains, and that's exactly why climbing higher usually solves the problem. You're just getting a better view for your radio.
That's the essence of it. A simple principle, but with really big practical consequences for how you plan and fly.
Absolutely.
So here's something to think about next time you're prepping a flight or even just flying along. Don't just think about your aircraft's path. Think about where your radio signal needs to go. How does knowing about these line of sight limits change how you might pick an alternate airport? Or, what your immediate actions would be in an emergency if you try calling out and initially get nothing.
That's a great thought to leave folks with. Planning for the signal path, not just the flight path.